Hello, my beauty. So, I would like to talk to you from the beach and the seagulls, which we've fed some bit of sandwich. They are very grateful, most grateful. These are polite seagulls, not like the ones that come down and snatch things from your hand. I would like to speak about something came to me and I just thought, oh yeah, I think that's such an important thing. In the beginning of a relationship, in fact, in the beginning of a relationship, throughout a relationship, and especially in a divorce, women can be, or the one who has stayed at home with the children, shall we say, can often be accused of being gold diggers. And there is absolutely nothing wrong when you are meeting new people, looking into someone who you would like to get into a relationship with or get romantically involved with someone. There's absolutely nothing wrong with one of your tick boxes being needs to be established, needs to be self-sufficient, needs to be able to meet their own needs financially. Now, if someone wants to come in and rescue someone else, then that's absolutely lovely. You know, that's something that some people like to do. They like to be rescuers. But obviously, if that's what they're going in to do and that's what they're enjoying doing, then they can't throw that back at a later date. However, as I say, one of your tick boxes, as a man, as a woman, whatever, may well be needs to be established. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Don't get me wrong, there are gold diggers out there. There are people who go after people just for the money. Excuse me. But what we have to understand is just because there is a tick box that mentions money doesn't mean that they are a gold digger. What always strikes me when I think of that and those people that accuse others of being gold diggers or after just the money, it reminds me of the film Gentlemen Prefer Blondes. And in Gentlemen Prefer Blondes, Marilyn Monroe plays a gold digger. And her friend, Dorothy, is constantly telling her she's a conniving gold digger. She's engaged to a millionaire. And at the end, she is accused of marrying her fiance just for money by the father. And she says, I don't want to marry him for his money, I want to marry him for your money. And he says, right, now we're getting down to it. I see you're only marrying him for money. Do you admit that? She says, no, I don't admit that. She says, and these are the words as best as I can remember. Isn't it funny? Don't you know that a man being rich is like a girl being pretty? You may not marry a girl just because she's pretty, but my goodness, in her Marilyn Monroe voice, my goodness, doesn't it help? And of course, he's left a little bit speechless. And she says, so why is it wrong for me to want those things? She also points out, and if you had a daughter, wouldn't you want her to marry a rich guy? Or would you prefer her to marry a poor guy? And they're arguing about money and worried about money all the time. Well, no, he wants her to marry a rich guy. Of course he does. So why is it wrong for her to want those things? And it is certainly not wrong to want those things. The only thing you find is if you are only going after someone for what they can provide you materially, is that you will run out of things to talk about. You will run out of things to say. The energy will die. And when the energy dies, then everything else follows. And then if there's no, passion, there's no interest, there's no respect, then everything dies. So what then you're left with is simply money. And that's a shallow victory, because all human beings are looking for an emotional and meaningful connection when they are hooking up with someone. If you prioritise money, then you won't be finding yourself in a deep spiritual connection. But again, as I say, it's okay to want your future partner to be established. Man, woman, goat, whatever you want to marry. So I just thought that was interesting, that's something I'd seen, just made me remember those lines. And at the end of her monologue about wanting to marry someone with money and men wanting to marry someone who was pretty because it helped, the father says, they told me you weren't very bright. Turns out you are incredibly bright, and this is it. It's just a smart move, really, to just know that things that could possibly cause problems won't cause problems. There we are. So, enjoy the sunshine, everybody.